Hey everybody, welcome back to Ogre Speed Shop. So we're going to start on part 2 of making this hood fit better and repairing some of the damage like this corner right here. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I've been playing around with the hood off camera and I've got it to where it's a lot closer to where this point's where it's supposed to be, and it's lined up with the fenders now. And the way I did that is I took a ratchet strap, 2x4, and a piece of tubing, stuck it right here, strapped it from here to there, and it like the 2x4 and the piece of tubing was right here, and I just cranked on it and kind of popped and then pulled it into place. So dented a little bit right here, brought it out, but I think I can pull that back in and be fine. But like I said, now it actually closes to where it's supposed to be. So we got that part figured out. Still needs some work, obviously, but overall she's fitting a lot better. And still got to work on the gaps, but like I said, it's a process. So we're going to get into repairing this metal where it needs to be repaired. That'll be the next thing. So I took a wire wheel to the areas where I saw Bondo. You can see where there's a dent right there, it needs to be filled, and I'm going to try to pop that, like bang that out. Some definitely rust holes right here. This little area needs to be filled. The nose needs to be done. I have some work done on it. Found this nice rust spot. It's underneath something. I don't know what they used to fill that. It could just be an original rust spot. And then clean that up a little bit. You can see where the hole's at from. These are filled with Bondo, you can see. So, but we're replacing this whole section. We're just going to cut a square out basically and redo that area. And a few places got some low spots. Got to fix this corner over here too. But that's what this video is going to be, is a lot of the metal work to fix all these little dings. Now basically from this point back, I don't see anything wrong with it. And so the rest of it looks really good. But as always, the nose is always kind of screwed up on these things. So we're gonna fix it. All right, so what we're gonna do for this corner right here, I'm not gonna cut it out first. I'm gonna make the new piece to fit that area first. That way I can shape it to where it needs to be. So I'm just going to take a Sharpie marker and basically draw in where I'm going to be making the new piece. So it looks like right about here is the furthest we want to go. So we're going to mark it right there. We want to stay away from the curve here. So we're going to go just above that corner, that curve of the hood. And then I think we're going to go over the edge. So if you look right here, you can see there's a pretty good ding right there. So I think we need to replace all the way over into that area. So it's just a matter of putting a little flap in there and bending it over to a 90 with a little bit of a curve into it. Now it sounds easy, but it's, you know, you'll see. It's not horrible, but it's not easy either. So like I said, I like to make these things as sharp as possible, or as square as possible. Let me get my tool on my ruler. So I got this nice 18-inch ruler that is pretty flexible, so I can actually lay it on there. Let's go with the lines of this. All right, so I think that'll do for that. I'll make a template out of something, maybe a regular piece of paper that I can see through to see the lines. So this piece is going to be a little bit different because there's a lot more shape to it. So that's going to take some, I don't know what we're going to do with that. I don't have metal shaping equipment here. I can do bends and like somewhat curves here, but doing this is kind of a compound curve. You can't see that. So that area right there, there's a few compound curves in there. You got to try to work in there, but pretty good rust area right there. But that's what we're doing. We're fixing that. I might just cut that out and make a patch as well. But I'll see if I can get underneath it and ding it out, because it'd be easier to put back in than it is to take out. All right, we'll see. All right, for this template, I'm just gonna use a piece of wax paper because I can see through it. I'm gonna draw out my template, and then I'll cut that out and transfer it to a piece of metal. And it doesn't matter how close this is as far as the marking's already made, because the new metal piece is gonna be the actual template for the cut when we go to cut the metal out of the original metal off the hood. So I'm just gonna trace this out, just to get an idea. And I'm gonna make it longer, obviously, on the actual piece of metal. All right, so now we have the shape. So we take this, cut it out, transfer it to a piece of metal. Probably 18 gauge, I'm assuming. I got 20 and 18, but I think I'll probably use 18 because usually the stock metal is somewhere between 18 and 20. So we'll go with the 18, a little bit thicker, and make that piece. All right, so we got this piece cut out to approximate size. Like I said, it doesn't matter because this is going to be the final size of the piece. So now we just got to shape and bend it so it matches this contour here the whole way across. Now it's going to be a little bit difficult on this side just because of the dent that's in there. So it's going to throw us off a little bit, but we can get it pretty dang close just by doing it on here. So I'm going to get out my my shaping tool, and I'll show you that here in a second. If you watch my other videos, you know what I'm talking about, but the roof video, if you watch that, you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's get to shaping. All right, so I went ahead and put the bend in there. That way I know exactly where my stop's going to be at. And we go line it up. Plus, I bent to 90, but it needs to go a little bit more than that. But I also went in the back and I made a mark on the shape of the design, or what the shape is back here, because it's not just flat. So it's got this little curve to it. God, I can't think of it. It's really hot again. And it's over 100. Drink, Bri. So yeah, so we're getting it lined up pretty good. I also did that for, it'll actually make it easier to put the arch in this, going this way, because I can use my shrinker stretcher once I get this cut down to size to shrink it and bring that curve into a lot better. So yeah, that's what we're doing. All right, so we had to bent that around, and the duct's being really loud. And I made the shape that goes with the hood right here. And all I use a cutoff wheel and then a flap disc. Got sweat going in my eye. To smoothen it out and make the shape. So that's how I form my metal around here, just by grinding it basically. So that fits on there nicely on the corner. So now I just got to shape it to where it matches the shape of the hood, and we'll be good to go. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see it, but I've been working my stretcher, and you can see how it's starting to get a curve in here. That's kind of hard to see on camera. But I'm starting to get the curve, which is that curve on the hood right here. All right, so we got that shape pretty good now. The way I test it is I stick it on there and kind of just wiggle it back and forth. I mean, there's a little bit more that needs to be done, but we're getting that arch. We're getting that arch for the hood right there now, which is what we want to see. And we'll be smoothing out the edges too to make it a little more round than what it went a little square on here, but that's easy to fix. So that's the start on that. And now it's just a matter of just working the metal basically at this point. All right, so we got this piece shaped pretty good now. It matches the contour of the hood pretty good. Gotta roll the end of it a little bit here. But other than that, we're good on this side, good with the contour this way and this way. Just like I said, we gotta roll the very little tip of this just to get it to roll in, because it kind of dips right here at the very edge. So either that or I just move it up, but there's a dent that leads right to that edge. So I want to get this as low as possible, which is right about there. So you just gotta roll this edge a little bit. Should be good. All right, so we got the piece made and shaped now. So now we're just gonna mark it and cut it out of the hood so we can put it back in. All right, so we got the area marked. So now all we gotta do is cut it out. weld in the new piece. So as you would expect, there's definitely rust underneath on the frame, in between the skin and the frame. That's what you're going to find on these 50-year-old hoods. So, but as far as our patch piece goes, it fits pretty well. The one corner right here is not quite in yet because when you cut with the cutoff wheel in the corners like that, it doesn't clean up all the way. So I'll probably take a die grinder to that. Same with this corner, just to open it up. So that piece fits right in, and we get rid of all those dents, which are somewhere around here. I don't know what I did with it. There it is. So now we get rid of all that, all those holes from whoever did the bodywork last time, and replace it with all new metal. All right, so we got the piece fitted and ready to be welded. And once I weld it up here, I'll start bending this down and around so it fits better. But, yep, we are good to go. So I went ahead and pulled the hood off. It's a lot easier to work on it, and you can see a little better on the side there, the way it looks. So we got to patch that in. Still got to figure out what we're going to do here, and this little dent right here. And I noticed somebody tried to fill that in with a weld, so I might try to grind that out and do it a little bit better. And looks like a little rust spot right there too. So a couple of those spots need to be filled up, and we should be good. All right, we got that patch welded in. Only thing left, I gotta trim this because I cut it big, so I can go back in and shape it. But other than that, it's welded in, so just gotta go back in and grind it down now. And then we'll work on these pieces over here. All right, so we pretty much get this side done. Gotta do a little cleanup on it still. So now I'm gonna move on to this section right here. This is gonna be a little tougher because I don't really have like metal shaping material or tools. So I basically got to figure out a way of doing this just by bending and tweaking and stretching and doing kind of stuff like that and trying to smooth it out. So I'm gonna get a piece of metal, I don't know, about yay big, and then start playing with it, see if I can make it form to this section and this shape here. All right, so I've moved on to that little dent right here, which is not a dent anymore, it's more of a little hill. Because what I did is I came in from the back side, I cut a little area out of the frame, and I took my chisel here and I set it up because I only had one hand, or two hands I mean, and I set it up like that, put my die underneath there, and then smacked it a few times to get it out there. And then I ended up going without the die to get the very last parts of it. So now I can work it from the outside and smoothing it out downward. So that part's done. Now as far as this rust spot goes over here, so far I haven't figured out a way of actually making the metal mend to where I want it to, because I don't have the tools to do it. So what I think I'm gonna do is I got a whole bunch of BBs, so I might make my own, what's it called, shot bag to start working the metal a little bit better. But I also need a hammer too, though, one of those body working hammers, not the metal ones, but the what's actually called, the plastic ones. I don't know what it's called. I can't think of what it's called. Delrin, I think it's made out of Delrin. So that's on hold for now. But I want to get this one dent fixed, so I'm gonna flip it back over and work that a little bit better. I gotta work the ding in that area right there. And yeah, do some more work on that patch we did on that side. We should be good. All right, so as you can see, this is raised now, so we got to bring that back down and into position and smoothing it out a little bit. Like I said, this piece right here, I just don't have the tools to do it yet, so that might have to wait. And we can fill these little spots here, and we should be good to go on that. All right, so we got that little area smoothened down somewhat. The rest is going to be taken care of body filler, basically. Still want to replace some metal around here because that rust is just going to continue to grow. So I need to get that off of there, but that's on hold for now until I figure out a way of, like I said, manipulating the metal a little different. I'm going to try the edge of this because it's got a compound angle on it, and that's what I need to make it work, but I don't know. And yeah, so that's where we're at. Then I'll fill these areas right here, grind those down, should be good to go after that. Just notice these little marks. I don't know if that's filler or hot spots or what, but it's getting better, and the rest will be body filler after that. All right, so I got these spots pretty much filled. Everything else is going to take just a regular body filler to fill it up now. This piece right here, I got to wait till I can get some more. I'm going to get what's it called, a shot bag and a hammer, see if I can make that piece, because I kind of gave up on it yesterday. I don't know what I did with it. I tossed it somewhere because I was getting frustrated not being able to get a shape out of it. So, you know, it's just one of those things. When you ain't get the tools, you don't have the tools. So, oh, I just noticed a little nick right there. So I might need to hit that with something too. Some of the areas where I did weld that piece in, I just kind of sprayed some protectant on it just so it doesn't rust. And I still need to probably go in there and try to fill that a little bit more. But I'll do that when I go back and do this one here. And I gotta fly. But I'm just gonna go ahead and coat it, paint it, and put it back on the car. And that'll pretty much be it for this video. All right, so I got the underside of the hood coated now with my favorite thing in the world, which is this Rust-Oleum rust reformer. So that'll take care of it rusting anymore. I still gotta weld that shut, but I'm gonna wait till later to do that. When I do more stuff on the other side of the hood, I'm gonna pull it back so it's fixed. That's where I cut it open to get to the dent that was right there. But now I gotta flip it over. I already painted the other side of it, and Dick is being really loud. But I already painted the other side of it, but I wanna flip it over, make sure there's any spots I need to touch up, and then it's going back on the car. So there's another cruise night coming up, and I wanna go to this one. It's on the 27th, it's a week from Saturday, so hoping to do that soon. All right, so this is the other side. You see I still haven't repaired that one spot right there, which I'll do later once I get the tools to do it. So yeah, you can see the places where I touched it before it really dried. But I'll wipe it down and redo it, but I'm gonna put it on first, so that way any more fingerprints or whatever, I can cover it up once it's on the car. So let's get it on the car. All right, so we got the hood on now. And yes, I know it has streaks, just because it's not finished. This is just to protect it. But it'll be good enough for me to be able to drive it around until I get to the body work on it eventually. So for now, this is what it looks like. And while I was putting it on, I broke the plastic piece of my bat wing, eyebrow, whatever you want to call it. It was already broken. It's the original one, so they do make repops of them. I don't know how good they are, but the plan was eventually to get one anyway, so now I just gotta push up to date, I guess. But that's the way she's looking. That's kind of hard to see, it's glaring, but there's a little better view of it. That wraps up this video on repairing some of the hood damage, and I'll fix the rest later on. So if you like this video, go down and leave a like down there. Leave a like down there. Leave me a comment, let me know what I can do, what I can do better, and subscribe while you're at it. I appreciate y'all watching. It really means a lot to me. So until next time, I will see y'all later.